Oh my god, so it's finally winter. And for those of you who've known me for some time, no, I absolutely can't stand the winter. I can't stand this weather. And today is a perfect day to show you how terrible that is. Oh, I'm not really properly dressed like anyone would dress for winter, but I tried. Oh my god, I can't even get my bag up. So, today is terrible. It's beginning to snow, but the terrible bit is that it's very, 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 very cold.
Hi my lovelies, it's Life with RUZHOFF again. I know it's been a while. I've been missing in action, but we're back. For everyone that has already joined me on this journey, I really appreciate you so much. I thank you so much for the support. And if you're new to this journey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Subscribe, like, share with friends, and let's get to grow on this journey. So today we're going to be talking about a topic that's actually a bit sad for me. For people who live in Europe, know that we're now having the winter season. And for me, the winter season is something that I don't like. Like, it's actually one of the reasons I've been, missing in action. I always take some time to adjust from the, the nice sunny weather to the cold weather. And when I talk to some people, it's not just me. There are many people that get affected by the weather changes. The temperatures drop terribly. It's now like freezing cold. Today it started snowing. I hope I'll get a short clip of the snow. And I thought maybe I can share this with the people that experience that, or those that don't know about it. So if you're dealing with someone that goes through that, so you can totally understand them. So we're going to be talking about what's winter blues or how to deal with them. But before I even dive into it, maybe I would let you know what winter blues are, or what is actually medically called seasonal affective disorder, like something you'd call SAD, S-A-D. The main cause is actually the drop in serotonin levels. That is like a hormone we all have in us that influences our mood, how happy we are, how excited we are, or how sad we are. And when this hormone drops, which it basically does every winter, your mood changes. For some people more, and for some people not noticeably, they don't get to really feel affected that much. Another big cause is, of course, the lack of the vitamin D, the lack of this vitamin direct from the sun. I mean, we're not getting direct sunlight, so it really affects us so much. Not forgetting that it gets dark very soon. The days are very short. You wake up in the morning, like when I'm going to work, it's dark. When you come back from work, it's dark. It's very cold. It's basically like, oh, right now I'm shooting this video and it's all gray and not nice at all. So that definitely affects your mood and how you feel. And for people who know this situation, I wouldn't call myself like that I'm sick, but I'm someone that's slightly... So for anyone who is affected by this, you know what I'm talking about. And of course, for our sisters and brothers who are lucky enough to be in sunny Africa or any other sunny countries, maybe you can get to share the pain with us and understand some of the sacrifices we make by living, in the diaspora, living in Europe. For a girl that grew up in Uganda, sunny and beautiful, and now I have to put up with the winter. I must say, if I had a choice, I wouldn't be here during winters, but that's a topic for another day. What would be the typical symptoms for, winter blues, or what we call seasonal affective disorder? It's just things that actually seem, I would say, normal, because it's not really like some people consider it an illness, but it can affect you really drastically for some people. So most of the times you're feeling like persistently low, because of course, like I said, when this hormone is down, you're not your jolly self. And I'm a sunny girl. I only really blossom when the sun is out. So that means when the weather changes and we get into the winter, I feel like I'm so down for some time. I need time to adjust, honestly, like a few weeks to really accept and say, okay, now it's winter, the sun is gone, it's cold, it's dark, I have to put on these warm clothes like I'm putting on right now. This is actually very winter appropriate, and I don't like those kinds of clothes. I like my clothes light and simple and skimpy. So yeah, that's another adjustment. for most people, they lose pleasure in everything. Like, you're not motivated to do sports, you're not motivated to meet friends, you're not motivated to go out because of the coldness and the darkness. You need to put more thought in what you wear. For a person like me, if I have like a date with my girlfriends, or just with my family, if we're going out for dinner, it's not something that I do like quite easily, like compared to some like, oh my god, what am I going to wear, how cold is it, oh, do I need to put on tights or not, do I need a scarf or not? So of course the feeling, the vibe is different. So that's one part of also the symptoms. Of course, if your mood is low and you're not so happy, especially because of lack of this hormone that I told you about, is the serotonin hormone, you're most likely to be more irritable. And that comes as a result of, if you're staying more indoors, you're not having enough vitamin D, you're not having this sunny vibe, you're most likely, to be easily agitated, easily irritable. So people are going to be like, oh my god, why are you so, why are you so sensitive, why are you being so grumpy? But that could be actually one of the reasons. If you have a colleague or a friend that suddenly changes during winter time, please be understanding and bearing with them. It could be that they're having that, and not everyone knows that they have that. They're just like, oh, winter makes me down and makes me feel terrible. So if you're dealing with someone who seems susceptible, like, look at them and you're like, okay, what's wrong with them? Have some understanding. That could be probably the reason they're different compared to when you get to interact with them during summer. What else? If you're lacking vitamin D, if you're not really getting out there, doing sport, having a good time, you're going to feel tired most of the time. I mean, during winter, if it wasn't for work, I could sleep. I always tell my kids, I could sleep for a whole week and not have to wake up. Because when you wake up in the morning, normally in summer, like I'm someone who sleeps with open windows. I already see the sun rays, come into my bedroom. So that alone wakes me up. But in winter, if you wake up, even if it's at 8 a.m., it's still a little dark. So you don't have that feeling of, oh my God, arise and shine, in comparison to winter, where when the sun is out, you turn your head, look out your window, you're like, what a beautiful day. So you're motivated to wake up. Unlike winter, I'm really not trying to paint everything so gray, but for people like us, for people like me, who really have a problem adjusting to winter, that's exactly what it feels for us. You've also heard many people say, oh, I put on a lot of weight during winter, or oh my god, I have to be careful what I eat now this winter because I always put on a lot of weight. The reason is because of the coldness, your body needs more calories, more energy to keep up the warmth. Because of the coldness, your body needs to work like double the time to create warmth so you don't freeze to death. And so like I was saying, the main reason actually most people do put on weight during winter is you tend to crave more sweet stuff, you tend to crave more carbohydrates. And for all of you who know about like how our systems work, our bodies work, carbohydrates and sweet stuff basically turn into fat. So yeah, it's automatic that you put on weight, unless of course you have a very good body system, what we call the Stoffwechsel in Germany, but still you'll put on some weight. So that means you'd really have to be, if you're someone like who is very sporty, you'd have to like double your activity to be able to maintain your weight. What have I talked about? I've talked about what that is, like some of the symptoms. So of course, how, for example, do I personally cope with it? Before I even start with myself, of course, there are known ways out there, professional ways how you can deal with it. Like I said, for some people it's very mild. Like for me, it's just a feeling. For some people, it can be really intense, that some people actually get depression, that some people have the proper seasonal affective disorder. And then that's something that really has to be treated. Some people have to take antidepressants during this time, but of course you have to go to a doctor, you have to go to a therapist and get the right prescription. And I would advise anyone out there that has that situation, don't take it so lightly. If you really feel like it really gets the best of you, it's always good to speak about that, like with your physician, and see the way forward. You don't have to suffer the next 6 months, because winter is a very long time, and that's not nice feeling or a situation that you should really put up with when there actually means of making it better out there. Much as we don't really have so much sunlight during winter, we still have some days where it gets to shine, and even when you don't see the sun shining through, it's always there. So I would advise anyone, you know, to try. I know it's hard because that speaks for me. Try and still do outside activities. Try and go for a walk every day, be it 10 minutes, be it 30 minutes. If you're someone who drives like me, you know, most of the time, try and park 500 meters away from the supermarket if you're going to shop, and walk. That's why I try to do, because the sports that I do is also indoors, like I go to the fitness studios. That's something also different. It's nice, but you still really need to get out there to get this, you know, the feeling, breathe in fresh air, enjoy the nature. When the snow is there, it's also beautiful to feel the snow under your feet, to see how nature has changed, and that does something positive to your mind. So that's really, really important. And like I was saying, of course, you definitely want to exercise, you definitely want to remain fit and do some sports, because just sitting home, or, you know, like for, if you're doing an office job, you know, this business of, you wake up in the morning, it's dark, right? You drive to the office, you're going to be having, like, when I'm at work, you have light all the time on because it's not bright enough, and then you're going to come out, it's dark. So if you come back home and you're not going out even for a little walk, you're really going to be very unfit, and not just unfit, but sport is also very good for our mental well-being, because it helps us release the happy hormone. So definitely you want to do some sport, and I'm not saying you should do like heavy sport if you've not been doing it, but light sport, like at home, for example, I do hula hooping if I don't find time to go to the fitness studio. I have training bands for those of you who are sport affine. I do, what is it called, rope skipping. So I always try to at least do some sport, otherwise I'll go crazy. I can assure you, I'll be like, I want to get out of here, because I'm someone who really, like I said, I'm a very, very sunny girl, so it's really, really hard for me. But those are my tips, and those are also honestly the professional advice that you get out of there. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm just giving you tips that work for me, and from what I know from experience, of course, over the years. I've been living in Germany for more than 12 years, so that is speaking from experience. Of course, talking to friends, try and keep in touch with friends. I know in Europe it's very difficult, or here in Germany in particular, people just don't have time. It's not like in Uganda or Rwanda where you just call up a friend and be like, let's go to the spa, you know, let's have a coffee, come over to my place and let's have a cappuccino. It doesn't work out that way. So try and talk to people. If you're working in a company where you have good colleagues, try and, you know, form some relationships where you get to talk in the lunch break or in your coffee break. Try and stay in contact with people, because it keeps your mind off the winter. You know, it keeps your mind off the gray skies. It keeps your mind off the coldness, you know. So those are very important factors to keep in mind. So now coming to me, how do I survive the winter? Honestly, do I cope? How do I cope? I would say I don't even cope. Okay, that's maybe exaggerated, but for me that's how it feels like. It's like I've never found the exact thing that really, really works for me. But the only thing that has changed is my mindset. I try to be optimistic. I try to look for the beautiful in small things out of the winter. So when the snow comes, I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. When the sun comes out every once in a while, I make sure I get to enjoy it, even if it means leaving work 1 hour late. So yeah, cuddling is also very helpful. Get as many cuddles as you can from your boyfriend, from your husband, from your friends, from your children. If you're a mom, we always get free cuddles, thank God. And of course, back to winter and how to dress. Personally, I won't say that I've not yet learned, but I'm resistant to learning, because I just don't like the winter dress code. I don't like the hustle, you know, of putting on different layers of clothes. But of course, I'm trying. I've bought a few jumpers here and there. I've bought a few you know, like cuddly dresses here and there. But for me, basically what I do for winter, I just recycle my summer wardrobe, you know, like I just up it with tights and very comfy jackets. So it's always very good to invest in, you know, quality stuff. And that's it basically. So for anyone watching this video and you go through the same, you know, like you're having problems adjusting with the winter, you're always hit by these winter blues or these sad moments, you know, just know you're not alone. And I hope I've given you tips on how to deal with it, or even before you think of how to deal with it, you also need to know what exactly is going on with you in your body and in your mental, you know, state. So I hope I've helped you. And if you have someone in your, you know, in your circle who tends to, I would say, change during winter time, I hope this helped you to have more understanding for them, and maybe to also be a support system for them, to know that it's something actually out of their power. They can't do much about it. So just be patient with them, just be understanding with them until the 6 months of winter are over. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification button, like, share with friends and families. And I must say again, I really appreciate every single one of you, and I'm really looking forward to growing together on this journey. This is social empowerment journey. God bless you.